Liquidity is the lifeline. In moments of panic, confidence disappears first. When banks doubt each other, lending freezes. When lending freezes, commerce slows. When commerce slows, unemployment rises. To stop this chain reaction, central banks created permanent liquidity mechanisms. Swap lines between major central banks allow dollars to flow across borders instantly. Emergency lending facilities can be activated overnight. During the 2020 pandemic shock, the European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan expanded asset purchases dramatically within weeks. Trillions appeared on balance sheets, not because things were stable, but because instability was anticipated. The system no longer waits for normalcy to return. It injects stability artificially, debt as a pressure valve. Here's the paradox most people miss. Debt is not just a burden. It is also a release mechanism. When growth slows, governments borrow. When unemployment rises, stimulus expands. When banks hesitate, credit programs widen. Debt absorbs the shock that would otherwise hit citizens immediately. This is why global debt continues to rise even after each crisis supposedly ends, because the system prefers higher long-term debt over short-term collapse. And as long as interest payments remain manageable, the structure can roll obligations forward. Not forever, but long enough. Inflation, the silent rebalancer. When liquidity floods markets repeatedly, it rarely leaves without consequence. Inflation becomes a quiet adjustment tool. Central banks officially target modest inflation rates, often around 2%. That small percentage may seem harmless, but over decades, it erodes real purchasing power significantly. This serves two subtle purposes. It reduces the real burden of old debt. It prevents deflationary spirals that are harder to control. After the 2020 crisis, inflation surged globally. The International Monetary Fund projected elevated debt levels for years, yet most advanced economies avoided immediate collapse. Instead, inflation redistributed pressure, not equally, not painlessly, but effectively enough to stabilize the system.